The narcissist intimidation is used to threaten, to frighten, to persuade people to do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do, to make someone feel fearful of them or to make someone timid around them. The main reason a narcissist uses intimidation is so that you fear them, meaning you will conform to their demands out of fear. They also use it to manipulate you and cause you more confusion within your mind with subtle threats that make you wonder if it's a real threat, if they're messing around, if they will act on this threat, or if they will leave it be. They do this on purpose, so you are worried about the threat, but at the same time, you don't want to make a huge fuss, or you also fear speaking out to other people. They might not believe you. They might think you're overreacting, as a narcissist will tell you and others that they were only joking, that you're too sensitive, that you misunderstood them, that you took something the wrong way, that you're overreacting. Or things like you're imagining things to gaslight your reality so that they can get away with intimidating you. You're not overreacting. Any threat should be taken seriously, and you do not imagine things. If it happened, it happened. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. The different types of intimidation a narcissist would use is standing over you, looking down at you, getting in your face, breaking things, punching things, raising their voices to get you to fear them, covert threats of "I wouldn't do that if I were you," or "How will you afford to live without me?" or overt threats like "I'll make you pay" or "I will," followed with some form of punishment. Things like "You'll never see the children again," or "You'll have nothing without me," to stop you from doing something or leaving. Threatening to harm family members, pets, so you fawn and give in to their demands for fear of what could happen to loved ones. The threat of debt collectors when it comes to bosses, pity plays of "I've got nothing without you," so you go and help your parents out. Don't leave your partner. Again, people not on the disorder can say these things, usually because they genuinely believe they would have nothing without a narcissist. A narcissist says them to guilt trip those around them into doing what the narcissist wants them to do. 2. Isolation. Destroying your personal property or hiding passports, giving you no access to finances, or when driving in a car so there is no way out for you, threatening you and intimidating you, taking you to isolated places, cutting you off from friends and family, making sure you have no support, sabotaging your work, taking your phone off you. 3. Restraining you. Blocking doorways, locking doors, hiding keys, taking your car, physically holding you back, often claiming it's in your best interest. Anything to cause you to feel trapped with no escape. Threats of "I'll tell everyone you've done this," often using your biggest secrets against you. Those things that you once told them in confidence. So you conform to the narcissist demands for fear of others knowing things you'd prefer other people not to know, causing you to feel trapped with no choice but to do as the narcissist says. 4. Aggression. There are many types of aggression that a narcissist might use, from the passive-aggressive of the silent treatments and the sulks to spitting, slapping, pushing past you, shoving you playfully sitting on you. Yet when you request them to stop because they're hurting you, they'll do it all the more, and then they'll claim that you're boring, it's only a game, they're only joking. They're only joking to themselves. It's only a game to them. It's to cause you pain. They don't respect how they're making you feel. They are trying to persuade you. They are trying to feel powerful and in control over you. It is them trying to let themselves know that they are strong and also create that fear within you. Things like making you feel guilty over saying no to sex and trying to guilt trip you or punish you by creating a boundary on you because you created a boundary on them. And we should respect their boundary. We just need to slowly distance ourselves from them. When a narcissist uses a boundary as retaliation to our boundaries, it is further manipulation. When they sulk and break down your boundaries to get you to change your mind, tickling you but to the point where it hurts and you know they are not playing, hitting you with something, wrapping up a tea towel and smacking you with it, throwing things at you, pulling hair, strangling, kicking, biting, burning, force feeding, denying you the right to eat, shaking you, pinching you, punching you, and many more. They will always find a way to justify their unjust behaviour. It will not be a case of the person pushed to their limits who understands this is not an excuse to hurt another, knows the error of their ways, feels guilty and will never do it again, or a person throwing things to defend themselves, reactive abuse. The narcissist will find a way to twist all the blame onto you and see no fault in their own behaviour. A narcissist will not take responsibility for their own actions. They are acting in this way to persuade you to fawn to their demands. 5, as those close to the narcissist usually become used to the behaviour and gain a level of tolerance to the abuse. And it is tolerance. It's not acceptance, it's tolerance. The narcissist can recognise that if you haven't fawned to their demands, fawn meaning comply to what they ask of you, walking on eggshells around them to protect yourself from further harm, some narcissists will escalate their intimidation to verbal threats of killing you or your loved ones, physical violence becoming more regular, often with "if you hadn't, I wouldn't," as the narcissist gaslights you all the more, and those who would believe you're crazy. Not all narcissists turn to physical violence. Most will stick to emotional and psychological intimidation. What you shouldn't do: plead with them to stop. Most see this as a weakness and use it as an excuse to continue. Argue or fight back. They are not interested in your point of view. They are enjoying taking you off topic, twisting facts on you, watching you get frustrated, watching you get hurt, watching you get angry. They will often provoke you until you react so they can play down what they did and exaggerate whatever your reaction was to create those feelings of guilt within you. 3, defend or explain yourself. Anything you say will be used against you. Know in your own mind what your intentions are. When you explain yourself to a narcissist, they are not listening to you. They are listening to what they can use against you. They are left believing that you criticize them, that you put them down, that you judge them. They will then in turn seek to punish you. Only you define you, and you don't have to explain yourself to people who don't want to understand you. 4, seek to be understood or seek them to understand how they are making you feel. They are not interested. They are interested in winning at all costs to you. 5, don't make threats back, as this will most likely escalate the situation. 6, don't make excuses for their abusive ways. Abuse is abuse, and no one deserves to be treated that way. There is no excuse. 7, self-blame. You did not cause their abuse. We are all in control of our own actions towards others. Yes, sometimes even genuine people get pushed past their limits, but they would feel guilty. They would feel remorseful. They would take responsibility. A narcissist has no limits, and without consequences from authorities, they will continue the abuse. They don't see themselves as the problem. They don't accept responsibility. They will not be held accountable, and they go all out to avoid any form of consequences. How to handle intimidation? We are all capable of abuse without even realising it when we are provoked, frustrated, angry, hurt or scared. We can all be guilty of judging others, withholding criticism and controlling. But where we can see where we went wrong, learn from it, apologise for it and not doing it again, abusers take it to a whole new level and just pass the blame. It's healthy to be accountable for our own actions, but we should never take responsibility for someone else's. No matter what is said or done, no one is entitled to abuse another person. Even genuine people have their limits pushed. And if you're around people who push you past those limits, it's time to walk away from them. If they are narcissistic or not, abuse is abuse, and it's time to leave them in your past and look toward your future. People either cannot or don't want to cut people out of their lives, or you might still be in a relationship with them. It might be a boss, a parent, a family member, a friend, a sibling. So here are some ways to handle them. In order to help yourself when it comes to intimidation, you have to know within yourself you do not imagine things. A narcissist twists everything to avoid taking responsibility. If you're still in a relationship with a narcissist, you need to take notes of these threats. Record every act, no matter how small. Save on your phone. If you can record, take photos, send to a secure email account and delete off your phone. Gather any evidence you can in case you need it to prove that they are abusive for any court dates. Never ever show that record to a narcissist to prove that you are right. They will take this as criticism. You might end up with narcissistic rage coming at you, and they will go all out to try and destroy the evidence. Make sure it's kept away from the home, away from the narcissist. If it comes out, most narcissists will deny it, say it's taken out of context or that you made it up. With enough evidence, the truth speaks. A narcissist's reality is different to yours. You may need these to remind yourself of what you are leaving behind or what you have left behind in those moments of self-doubt. When you are questioning whether it was you, whether it was them, if they are that bad, when you're reminiscing about the times they were love-bombing you, you can look at the evidence of how shockingly they genuinely treated you. A written diary of events down the line will counteract the narcissist's memory of events that took place. When they start to threaten, if at all possible, you need to leave the room you are in. They may follow as they feel criticised that you've left. Only you know the capabilities of the narcissist that you are dealing with. If you stay in the same room, do not challenge them. As hard as this can be, it's natural to want to defend ourselves. If you pay close attention, they are very predictable in their patterns of behaviour, in the way in which they argue, the manipulation methods they work through, the idealisation, the devaluation, the discard, the hoover. Your brain has been trained to respond in certain ways to them, so now you need to make a conscious effort to retrain your thoughts. When you break the repetition of your reactions to them, it gives you an advantage as they go off balance. Do not agree to save yourself from the threat. Do not challenge them on it. No reaction if possible. If you've left, they might stop with the intimidation. They might change to their next tactic again. If you take note and observe, you will see the pattern. Some narcissists are extremely dangerous, so you need to get out and get away. Others, most likely, all mouth, little action. But they do have a pattern of behaviour. When we don't expect something, it hits us hard. When we know what to expect from them, we can then actually see the game they're playing and we can predict it before it hits. Know your boundaries and stick to them. When you say no, it's a no. Having healthy boundaries is not to punish them, it's to protect yourself. Get the support you need, police, therapy. Speak with those you trust about what is happening to you. The narcissist personality disorder is on a spectrum. Yes, they will have similar traits. They are all individuals, though. You need to know what yours is truly capable of. The narcissist doesn't learn lessons as they cannot self-reflect or accept responsibility for their own actions and mistakes. They just blame and shame all others and never learn from their own behaviour. They just hit a cycle of repeat. So once they've worked through all the other methods and they've still not got to you, they will go back to intimidation. You can and you will move forward for a better life for you. I shall add into the description the video on cognitive dissonance, video on reactive abuse, and the video on why not to argue with a narcissistic person. If you are looking for further support, I have partnered with BetterHelp and their sponsored link is in the description. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.